Breaking the Silence is a podcast that dives into the intricate and often challenging topics of grief and loss within relationships. Through insightful discussions, the podcast aims to explore how pain can be transformed into purpose, leading to healing and growth. By addressing themes such as inner child work and the journey towards feeling alive once more, this podcast offers a beacon of hope for those navigating difficult emotions. Ultimately, Breaking the Silence aims to guide listeners towards moving forward and embracing all the blessings that life has in store as they embark on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual fulfillment. I'm your guide through this journey, Raynea Wallace, and I invite you to join me as we break the silence surrounding grief and loss, transforming pain into purpose and finding hope in the healing power of storytelling.
Welcome to Breaking the Silence. I'm Raynea.
And I'm Kelli with an I.
And we are so excited and happy to have you here with us. Excited for Kelli to be back after a couple episodes with it just being solo episodes, which felt so weird to record without you there, Kelli. But it was still good. So glad you are back. Anything new that you want to share before we get started?
Well, I'd like to say that I was on hiatus because I was in Paris.
Wouldn't that be nice to say that?
I can say that. It's not true, but I can say that.
In my dreams, that's where I was.
So my brother-in-laws are listening right now. They'll be like, what? What the heck?
You went to Paris without us?
All right, I went to Alum Creek and camp, okay?
The next best thing.
Right.
If you can't go to Paris, you go to Alum Creek.
Right.
And you go camping. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I got to tell you, so your brother-in-law, I'm going to share a story about him. In his stories, he had shared like a reel or something, and he was like this scene just like totally changed like TV history forever or something like that.
Yeah.
And I messaged him and I was like, how sad would it be if I told you I have no idea what that show is? And he messaged back and he was like, Raynea! With all these explanation points. And he was like, and he told me what it was. And he was like, that scene just changed everything. And I was like, okay, well, I did sort of think possibly Miami Vice, although I don't think I ever watched that show though. Did you know?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't one of my go-tos, but I'm sure I watched some of it.
Maybe I've seen a clip somewhere or something.
Yeah.
Like, so it sort of like crossed my mind, like maybe Miami Vice, but I mean, really, like, honestly, like, I was like, he's like, this generation has no idea. And I was like, well, let's talk about my generation because I have no idea. But it was so funny, just him messaging back like, Raynea! So, alrighty. Well, I thought it would be fun we talked about doing these rapid fire Q&A questions, just something fun and different. We've spent a lot of time talking about attachment styles and attachment, different things with that, and sort of wanted to like wrap that up for a time. I don't know that we'll wrap it up forever because I am very passionate about it and love learning about it, love talking about it. It's just sort of, I was thinking about it and actually shared this in last week's episode. Like, there are two things that I'm so passionate about, and that is Jesus and attachment styles. And both of those, because I feel like they've forever changed my life. And so I want other people to know those things too. And so, yes, I think that we will absolutely revisit it at some points and, different conversations with that. But also take a break for now and just go into some different things and fun things. And so, do you want to start with the first question or do you want me to start? It's up to you.
Well, actually, what you were just talking about, and you had a really good point about that because, we all start dating in high school. Well, typically start dating in high school or very early thereafter or in college. And not that everybody has well, I guess to some degree, everybody has some type of childhood trauma, whether it's parents, friendships, whatever. And I think you had such a good idea because you said that they should teach attachment styles in school, like in high school. Like when people start dating and stuff like that. And I think that's such a good idea. I mean, even to take it back even further, like I was thinking about checkbooks, which people don't really do, but even just finances, just really good. Those, I mean, yeah, like history and all those things, but some of those things it can be taught at home, but even if it's not taught at home, those are good fundamentals as well, right? To make sure that we all start out on the right foot, like as far as like savings and that's when the kids are going to start going out on their own. Why not give them a leg up to already know like kind of like finances and savings and things like that and attachment styles, because that's when people start dating or they possibly get into like abusive relationships or kind of what they and I just think that's such a good idea, even if it's not something that's fully in the curriculum, but even if it's just like, extracurricular, if people wanted to do that, I think or even college level.
Absolutely. Well, and that's even, I talked about that in the previous episode. And I was like, I think that needs to happen before people get married. But honestly, it needs to be before marriage because it needs to be, like you said, like I'm thinking more like high school or something before you start getting into relationships, maybe even middle school. I don't know, start to introduce it.
Right.
I don't know the answer, but I feel like either as parents, we need to make sure that we are teaching our kids about attachment styles. I don't know the answer. It would be amazing if it was in school, but I guess maybe it's even just the parents' responsibility. It needs to be, I don't know, the parents' responsibility to teach them anyways.
Right.
So.
And maybe there are workshops out there that I never knew about, but even though there's something like that, anyway, I think that's a great idea because.
Well,
yeah,
I do know Dr. Sarah Hensley, which I love her work. Like I've worked with her one-on-one. I've done her hybrid program. She is doing a, probably the same type of thing, like a curriculum. And then I'm assuming like video modules and things like she does with her hybrid program for adults to teach children, because she realizes now that parents are learning it and figuring out, they're like, wait, what about our kids? Like, what if we taught our kids this before they ever get into this situation, and they can avoid so much of that because there's no way that we can shelter our kids from all the possible traumas and things that, and maybe some kids do. Of course, there are some kids that probably are secure and had amazing lives, but we can't shelter our kids from all the things of like divorce or death or, whatever, that happened throughout life, and how our parents maybe just couldn't show up for us the way we needed,
Right. Yeah.
So. Anyways,
good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see if she does come out with something like that. That would be beneficial for people.
Yeah.
All righty. So.
And your nails look nice too.
Thank you.
I like the color.
I did too. I got my toes done and my fingers done and getting wedding ready. I'm like, thinking forward thinking for the wedding. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, alrighty. If you could instantly be fluent in any language, which would you pick?
I think Italian.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh.
I can't even do an Italian word, so.
I just said oui, and I think,
I was going to too.
I was like, wait, what?
That's French though, isn't it?
French.
That's the language I would pick, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would say Italian.
Fun.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to Italy someday?
Well, because my grandma, her family was from Sicily.
Oh, really?
My mom's mom. Yeah, her dad was from Sicily.
I didn't know that.
No. And you know what I think is so sad, like such a disservice, because and even some of like my son's friends who have parents from other countries and stuff, like they learn a lot of the languages, like from the grandma and stuff like that. And I think that's so important to embrace that. But, like when some of the immigrants came over, in our grandparents, great-grandparents eras, they wanted to be so Americanized. They didn't want to they change all this, their spellings of their names and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandma, so her dad was from Sicily. And then her mom was, I think her parents were sure from Ireland. I'm not sure if she herself was born in Ireland, but like my grandma never learned any Italian because they really wanted you to be like Americanized.
Right.
I think that's such a disservice. It's kind of sad.
So then you lose a piece of your heritage,
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, I think that would be, because I would love to go to Italy. I would love to go to Ireland. So, yeah.
Okay. Pretty neat. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Let's see here. What's a daily habit that keeps you grounded when life feels heavy?
Probably my time with God, my devotions and stuff. Like, I think that's where I can bring myself. That's probably my one consistent habit every day is spending time with God for the most part. I mean, occasionally, yes, I do miss. I'm not perfect, but yeah, for sure, I would say that. You big sinner, you. All right. Let's see. What's your go-to karaoke song, even if you can't sing it well? Or what would be your go-to karaoke song?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. This is terrible because a few of them that like came to mind, but the one song that I really like, and I'm a terrible singer. I'm so bad. Like, quick story. When I lived in my other house, there was like a laundry room like right off the kitchen. And so I was in there and I forget what it was. I think it was like, is it Lauren Daigle? Is that how you say her name?
Lauren Daigle, yeah.
And I think I was singing something like that. And my son would have been, I don't know, maybe 10 at the time. So I come out, he's like, Mom. He's like, when you do that, you have to like hold one ear so you can like really like hear yourself. And I was like, I'm a terrible singer. Okay. Like I'm completely tone deaf. So I don't know, a couple days go by and I did, and I'd come out and maybe that's when he said it to me. Cause I was like, I did do that. And I'm just a terrible singer. So I think I sound better when I'm singing along somebody, but I really don't think I do. But anyway. So I was thinking I love the song Sin Wagon by the Dixie Chicks.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember? I have that on video. We made TikToks when we
Yes, now that you said it. No wonder that came like to flooding forward of all the other songs.
Oh my gosh. And you were so funny doing that video. We should post those for the fun of that.
Should we?
We should, because you're the only one in it.
Oh my gosh, I forgot where were we at? Hilton Head.
Carolina.
Was it Hilton Head we went to?
Is that where we went?
Yeah.
I'm so bad about remembering like the actual place we go to. Like I knew it was like South Carolina, but
yeah. We were just talking about that the other day, a plane ride. We were talking about like getting good seats or whatever. And I said that was the first time I'd ever flown Allegiant and I picked out the seats, remember? Like, all I got is front row seats because most planes had that front row seat, like that little divider, like that wall kind of.
Right.
Well, this plane didn't. So here we sit down and you and Tina look at me like, because right across from us is the flight attendants in their jump seats staring
facing us.
I remember saying, like, we're going to have a steering contest. So, like, we're pretty sure we're going to win.
Yeah, that's funny. I don't think I've ever had that before where they're like just right smack in front of you, facing you. And
yeah.
So, okay.
Live and learn.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. My question to you is, it's the same question. What if we do the same ones? Do you want me to ask you that one too?
Yeah, we can do it.
Okay. What's your go-to karaoke song, even if you can't sing it well?
Well, first of all, I don't typically do karaoke, although I do love to sing. Like I'm all the time singing in the car and all that. But you know what immediately popped in my head when I asked you was, oh gosh, Kelly, you would know the song because you've even sent it to me before. Like remember me singing it younger. Scandal. I Am a Warrior.
Oh, yes. That was your,
Yes, that was for sure like my song.
That was your song.
And that would probably be one that I would totally karaoke to.
Yeah.
So anyways.
That's a good one.
All righty. Let's see what this one is. Okay, journal or voice memo? Which would you do? Which would you prefer?
Journal or voice memo? I don't know. I'm so probably voice memo.
Okay. All right.
Sunrise worship or late night prayer?
Wow. I would, gosh, that's a tough one. Probably a late night prayer.
Mm.
As much as I would love to say I would love to get up all the time and enjoy the sunrise and
Yeah.
yeah, not so much. The other morning I was up and I was like, oh my gosh, the sunrise is so beautiful. But
Mm-hmm.
anyways, so yeah, probably a late night prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. What is a practice that's helped you move through grief or loss?
I think just prayer and my faith for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Okay. When have you felt God's presence in an ordinary moment?
Mm. I think I would say uh, just even sometimes when I'm just sitting here in the morning doing my devotional, and sometimes I just look around and just see like his goodness and everything he's done in my life, like how he has sustained me over the past, 5 years. And, you know, yeah, just, I mean, I think every day and just the mundane moments and just looking around my house and thinking, God, you have been like so good to me.
Mm-hmm.
You've met every financial need, like everything my family, everything we've ever needed, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say that's it. So, alrighty. Spontaneous road trip or carefully planned getaway?
Spontaneous road trip.
Me too. Those are just fun.
Yeah.
I was just talking to someone about how much I love road trips and,
Mm-hmm.
they're just fun. You get to,
Yeah.
I don't care if they're far or close, whatever, like
Mm.
you get to listen to the music, you get to, those are where the moments are even, just,
Yeah.
anyways.
Well, and I just kind of got hooked on spontaneous. I really don't like road trips much anymore.
Oh, okay. Just,
Even though I don't really like to fly either, but I do like things that are more spontaneous, and that is
okay.
fun.
Okay. So more,
Right.
for you, it's just more the spontaneous thing.
But you're right, like the snacks and just kind of loading up the car and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Get
I
into
feel
good
like,
conversations and
yeah, like we were even talking about, like, yeah, you can hop on a plane and you can be in Florida in a couple hours. But I feel like so many of the memories for me are created even in the drive, and just
yeah,
the moments. And
yeah.
so, anyways, all right.
Big ball of yarn.
Do what?
See the big ball of yarn and world's the largest, ball of yarn.
Exactly. All righty. Your turn.
Mhm. Okay. So one way you like to serve or encourage others.
Well, I would say definitely for one, through the podcast, that's sort of not only is it, you know, an opportunity for me to speak my truth and use my voice for something, but the whole purpose is to also help others and encourage others. And
Mhm.
so I would for sure say the podcast. And then even I feel like in posts that I share sometimes on social media, the whole purpose of me sharing my story, whether it's been through the loss of Bryant or Dave or Michael or any of it, it's always been
Mhm.
if me sharing helps one person to feel like they're not alone or that they're seen or they're heard or whatever, then it's worth it, you know?
Right.
So, all right, let's see here. What's the best relationship advice you've ever ignored but later wished you'd followed?
Mm. That I ignored but wish I would have followed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. I guess instantly I would have said in my past marriage to not go back the second time.
Mm,
But with that being said, I also never had to question it either. So I wish that I would have taken the advice of people, but at the same time, I'm like, but now I never have to question it,
right.
The
Because,
heartache and pain came with it. It's like, I feel like I gave it my all and,
right.
so,
So in that, yes, it would have been nice if you'd followed that and avoided that. But at the same time, like you said,
yeah,
you just know you did everything you could,
right. Yeah.
So
Or all the red flags, because there were a lot.
that we want to see as rose colored, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I would say? I'm just tagging in on that.
Mm.
Like even thinking, for one, I think it's important to I mean, which really comes back to what you're saying, like trusting and listening to the people around us that love us the most,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes we can't see because we have the rose-colored glasses on, right?
Right. Right.
And and when somebody tells you who they are, believe them, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Very true.
alrighty.
Okay. What's the strangest snack? What's the strangest snack combo you secretly love?
Strangest snack combo. Can we do like not necessarily snack, but even food?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say strangest food. Gosh, I haven't had it in a long time, but I loved peanut butter and Miracle Whip and pickle sandwich, sweet pickle. It is so good. Don't you knock it until you try it.
Oh, I'm knocking it all day long. No, it probably is good. Would you say peanut butter?
Peanut butter,
Uh,
Miracle Whip, and sweet pickles.
Okay. All right.
It is good.
Yeah.
I used to eat that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Or even, do you ever put chips on your sandwich?
I just had one the other day.
Yes, but like I started doing that again here recently. I'm like, what in the world?
Bologna. I think it was just like cheddar cheese slice or whatever, and potato chips. Like,
Yes.
it's the best combination.
Yes. But yeah, for sure, peanut butter, Miracle Whip, and sweet pickles is yummy. So
You need to make that for your kids for dinner tonight.
I'm going to. Thank you for the suggestion. They will appreciate you suggesting that so much. Alrighty. How do you know when someone is emotionally safe for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, because I feel like I have such trust issues,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that'll make me emotional. Okay. So can you repeat the question?
Well, let me dig it out of my pile over here. Oh goodness. Here we go. How do you know when someone is emotionally safe for you?
Emotionally safe. I don't really know. And this is one thing. Like, I feel like I'm an oversharer, and I
Mhm.
think that I've seen that they say that people who are like aren't healed or stuff like that, they like to overshare. So I feel like a lot of times, like, I overshare too quick. But I guess I don't know. I guess because people are unpredictable, so I guess you can kind of get a gauge on people, or um since so I guess it's just over time, they just who somebody proves to be, you know what I mean? Like, if they just always kind of show up and they are like have your back, and you just I mean, like, like
So
over time.
consistent.
Consistency for sure.
That would be one way of showing that they're emotionally safe for you, is if they're consistent, right? They do what they say what they're going to do, they follow through.
Yeah.
Oops.
And there's sometimes I have thought that person was, and then you'll just see like a little glimpse, and then I just pull way back. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and then, but I think that I do kind of like forgive maybe too fast, and or forget, then you're kind of in a situation where you feel like you just need that person to kind of lean on. But yeah, so I think that's it. Yeah, just when I just have a good connection with somebody, and you kind of see who they are. But then, then just being consistent, I guess, just to keep showing up for you, I guess.
Yeah, I would say definitely consistency, and not putting in words in your mouth or anything, but even too, like, watching, because people will show you who they are, right?
Yeah.
And then from their actions
Mm-hmm.
if they are emotionally safe or not,
Right.
So, that's just my 2 cents.
Right. No, I agree.
All right, so it's your turn, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. I just pulled the same question, so I'm going to pull a different one. Hold on. Okay. All right. Beach walk or mountain hike for quiet time?
Beach walk for sure. No questions. I mean, I would love to go to the mountains, don't get me wrong, but for sure. I was literally just talking with someone about this the other night, and there's just something about walking on the beach with a cup of coffee and just the peace,
Yeah,
that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What is a small gesture that always makes you feel loved?
Mm, a small gesture. Well, I guess there's a couple. Like if my husband makes me coffee in the morning, that's
Mm,
that's nice. Just that he thought of me, especially if I'm running late for work. And I really think just like if you text somebody and them to text you back, or even text you first,
mhm.
just if they're thinking about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those are sweet moments when we get a text that just says thinking about you or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
alrighty.
Okay, so you want me to read one? So, but I'm going to do a different one because those are ones you already asked me. That one. If you could ask God one why question and get an answer, what would it be?
Hmm. Why did Bryant have to die? I would say. Even why Dave? Like all I would say all those. Why
Mm-hmm.
Bryant? Why Dave? Not why them. Like not like I'm saying they were so different that they didn't deserve to die. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But more like why did it have to be that way, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Like he's a 3-year-old little boy
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's probably the one I struggle with probably or did struggle with the most afterwards. Um, just thinking he was a 3-year-old little boy that was already born addicted
Yeah.
and had to endure that the first 2 weeks of his life, being weaned off stuff. And then to find out that he has a terminal diagnosis, like
Right.
that one was probably, where I really had to wrestle with God. Like, I don't understand, I trust you and I love you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you see what I can't see, but I don't understand this, God, and knowing
Yeah.
and being thankful too that he's big enough that I could wrestle with those really hard questions with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but still, yeah, even Dave and knowing like he's got all these kids, and so young and it didn't make sense to me. And Michael, have
Yeah.
5 kids still at home and so young too,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's, it's interesting because we're coming up on here in just a couple days. It'll be 3 years now that Michael will be gone. And just even thinking, looking back at my memories on social media and me even saying like, it's okay to cry over the really sad parts. And sometimes the story doesn't turn out the way we hoped it would,
Yeah.
and still just looking at that and thinking, yeah, more times than I can count, the story didn't go the way I hoped, but I can still say in all of that, God is still good and God is still faithful. And
Mm-hmm.
God can see so much more than we
Yeah.
ever could. He sees the whole big picture, the whole tapestry when we're
Right.
just zoomed in on our little part right here that we're dealing with.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a really big story to your why question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All righty. It's your turn. Let me see. Um, whoops. Who's the funniest person in your family and why?
The funniest person?
Yes.
Me.
Of course. Who else?
The funniest person. Oh gosh, that's funny. The first person that I went to, like, if you're talking about like my immediate family or like even like my husband, like everybody,
Mhm.
anybody, like
Yeah,
anyone,
anybody. Yeah. In your family.
I don't know. We have a lot of funny people in our family. I mean, I think we all have like a really good sense of humor. I do think Tom is pretty funny. My sisters can be really funny. I don't know. And my brother was hysterically funny. Like him and I
Stevie was
together.
funny.
Oh gosh, he's so funny. I don't know that I can pick one person. I feel like we all play off each other so well in our humors and stuff like that.
Okay.
I don't know. Somebody might come to mind, but my brother just came right out in front because he was so funny. But
Yeah. Yeah, Stevie was, and he was sweet. So sweet. Alrighty, your turn.
okay. How do if you want to? I'll read you this one, but if you want to do something, because it's kind of not heavy, but it just says, if you could thank pain for one lesson, what would it be?
I would thank it for resilience and learning that showing me that I'm a fighter. Like I will get back up over and over and over again and that I'm resilient and
Mhm.
an overcomer.
Yeah.
I think Actually, and even this ties into like the whole why question. My one friend said, like she had some, you know, really bad things happen to her in her childhood. And she said she never questioned God. She never questioned why. Like, I wish I could say I was that strong in my faith that I didn't question why, but I totally wrestled, you know?
Right.
Um, but she said she didn't. She said she always just looked at it, and even coaches now, people, instead of asking why, like, why did this happen, ask, what do you want me to learn from this, God?
Mm.
And so that sort of ties into that of like, that question right there of like, okay, what am I going to learn from it? I'm going to learn that I'm resilient. I'm an overcomer. I come back, you know, no matter what. Like, you know, I mean, and thankfully because of God too. But anyways,
Right.
yeah. So I would say definitely that I'm resilient and an overcomer for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. What is a friendship green flag you notice right away?
A friendship green flag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think somebody that just makes me feel comfortable. And then the first term that comes to mind that just feels like home, like you and I's friendship, like it was instant. You know what I mean? Just that you know, people will be like, you know, I feel like I've known them my whole life, or
Right.
yeah. So
And I think even with you and I, like how we would have periods, like life would get crazy. I feel like really when the kids were younger, I feel like this was the case where we could very easily sometimes go months without talking. I mean, I feel like there were seasons maybe that it was like 4 or 5 months, or not, maybe not actually like talking at all, but like seeing each other or something, you know?
Yeah.
When the kids, for sure, when the kids were younger. And like we would just see each other again, and it would just be like we just pick right up wherever we left off, you know? Like we never missed a beat, you know?
Right. Yeah, I agree.
And it reminds me of that meme, or not meme, but that reel that I just sent you, where like friendship is just the strangest thing that you just meet somebody and you're like, yeah, I like them. I think we'll be friends. You know, like we just clicked like that, you know? It was just like instant. So, alrighty. I counted how many of I've asked you 10 questions. How many have you done?
I've asked you 9.
Okay.
Do you want me to ask one more to wrap it up, or?
Yeah, we can, or yeah, we can do one more.
Okay. You asked me this one, so no, I don't like that one.
You cheater.
Oh, I like this one.
Okay.
Coffee with friends or solo tea time?
Gosh, that depends on my mood.
Yeah, it is the first thing I thought was like, it depends on my mood.
Like I love, yes, coffee with friends, but if I'm in like, I very much am that person too that can like sort of isolate sometimes. And like I honestly have to push myself sometimes to be like, and I can think especially like in seasons of grief and stuff, push myself to like, you need to go connect. You need to connect with friends, because I can be that person that wants to like sort of sometimes isolate and just sort of go inward, you know, and just spend time with myself. So I guess it really just depends.
Yeah.
But I would say in general, if it's not like me going through a hard season or something, coffee with friends, I would say typically. But yeah, there are definitely seasons where I'm like, okay, I need some time to myself and just to sort of be on my own.
Right.
I know you even know that there's times like I can think even after Michael died, you reaching out and checking on me and you know, feeling very that was probably one of those times and of course others too, but the most recent of like really withdrawing and like really wanting to just be with myself and just remembering even you being like, I'm just here whenever like you're ready. I'm here. I'm just checking on you. And so anyways, I think sometimes we need that time too, you know?
Yeah,
So.
for sure.
Alrighty. Well, that was sort of fun, I think.
Was fun. Yeah.
Just doing all the different questions and everything. And so anyways, is there anything that you want to share or just in general at all before we wrap up or?
No, I can't think of anything. Not really.
Okay. Yeah, it has, it's fun to have you back because talking with just myself is not quite the same now. Well, I mean, the listeners are there, but I know what I want to share. First of all, I just got to say, like, I am so, so thankful for every single listener. Um, I like, I had a goal, and I don't think I've ever shared this, but when I was recovering, not that I had a major recovery by any means from my sinus surgery, it was actually it might have even been the day of my sinus surgery now that I think about it, because yes, my surgery was on a Wednesday, podcast dropped. Anyways, I had sort of set a goal of just how many streams I would, like to see happen. And it happened that day. And I was just like, God, you're so good. And our listeners are so good and so incredible. And then today I was looking at things, just like the analytics and all that of the podcast. And I also had a goal of how many followers I would love to see happen this year by the end of the year. And we hit that. And so I was just like, thank you all so much. That's what I want to say. Thank you so much. Number one, that we reached just a personal goal that I had for streams and downloads for the whole year. And we reached it. And, we're not even at the end of the year. And we reached the followers. So I say all that to say, like, thank you so, so, so much. I appreciate you. Kelli and I both appreciate you so much. And it means more than you know if you follow, if you leave a review, if you share it, like all those things matter. Like that also helps push it out more to reach more people, to make an impact. And that is what it's all about. It's having fun too and just sharing with people, but also like making a difference, I don't know. So anyways,
Yeah.
I thank you all so much. We send you off with so much love. We're so thankful for you. I cannot stress that enough. And we will talk with you soon.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking the Silence. As we conclude our time together, let us carry forward the stories we've heard, the emotions we've shared, and the connections we've forged. Remember, the journey through grief and loss is not one we walk alone. In the silence, we find solidarity. In our shared experiences, we find strength. And in our vulnerability, we find resilience. If you or someone you know is navigating the complexities of grief, know that there is support available. Reach out, lean on your community, and remember that healing is not linear. It's a journey, and you are not alone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for being a part of this community. Until next time, may you find peace in the spaces between the silence. Please be sure to subscribe below and leave us a review. If you'd like to connect further, you can find me on Instagram at Coaching with Raynea. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking the Silence. As we conclude our time together, let us carry forward the stories we've heard, the emotions we've shared, and the connections we've forged. Remember, the journey through grief and loss is not one we walk alone. In the silence, we find solidarity. In our shared experiences, we find strength. And in our vulnerability, we find resilience. If you or someone you know is navigating the complexities of grief, know that there is support available. Reach out, lean on your community, and remember that healing is not linear. It's a journey, and you are not alone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for being a part of this community. Until next time, may you find peace in the spaces between the silence. Please be sure to subscribe below and leave us a review. If you'd like to connect further, you can find me on Instagram at Coaching with Raynea.